Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Sassy Love Tarot. In today's reading, we're doing something a little bit different. So for the pile picking process, we're not going to be picking from tarot cards or crystals. Instead, we're doing a candle picking. So you might be drawn to the scent of the candles or a particular color of the tin. And in terms of the content of the reading, we're gonna do a deep dive on your love life in the year of 2026. So first off, we're gonna start off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards to see what would be the general energy of your love life in the year of 2026. Who's coming towards you? What's coming towards you? What is new? All about your love life in 2026. And then I'm gonna live shuffle a tarot deck to pull cards for each of the month of the year. So from January to December. And then I'll do one card to represent the energy of each month so that we can build a timeline of your love life in this new year. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's get right into the pile picking. So as you can see here, pile number 1 corresponds to the cinnamon and orange candle. Pile number 2 here corresponds to the hinoki candle. Pile number 3 here corresponds to the elderflower candle. And last but not least, pile number 4 here corresponds to the mulled berries candle. So as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. Once you have chosen your pile or your piles, you can scroll down to the description box to find the corresponding timestamps. And now let's get right into your readings. Hey loves, if you have chosen the cinnamon and the orange candle, then you are in the right place. This is the reading for you, all about your 2026 love life. Before I start off your reading, I would like to light the candle that you've chosen so that we have the energy of the scent and the candle permeating this entire reading. And as I light this candle, you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and make a wish about your love life or about anything coming up for you in the year of 2026. And now let's take a deep breath together. All right, Spirit, may my group number 1's wishes come true as I light this beautiful candle that they have chosen. All right, so I'm gonna keep this candle right here so you can see it. Let me remove these crystals. All right, perfect. All right, so let's dive right into the overall energy of your love life in 2026. And as you can see here, you actually got a lot of cards. My intention was to draw only one card from each of the oracle deck that I'm using, but you actually got 2 out of the 2 decks that I have chosen for you, so which is very interesting because number 2 does represent partnership, and because this is a reading about love life, this is actually quite positive. So let's get right into the cards. We're starting off with number 8, the Justice card. Then we have number 12, expectations, don't seek anyone's approval. We have number 32, superstar. Number 25, friends. We have another number 8, it is not me. And let's take another look. And then we have number 22, let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel it. And then last but not least, we have number 4, be still. Cultivate a space of stillness and silence to just be. Okay, I think I'm gonna just quickly rearrange the cards so that you can see all of them. Yeah, again, because your group got like a lot more cards than expected, it's a little bit squishy. Okay, I think that will have to do for now. But basically, what I'm feeling right off the bat is that because you got two more cards than expected, it does feel like the space is a little bit crammed. So perhaps at least at the end, at the beginning of the year, or perhaps right now at the end of 2025, if you're watching this video as it's first uploaded, your life might feels also a little bit crammy. Like it might feel like, oh, like you have a lot of different things going on that's kind of distracting you from living your life. And also, what I feel like is happening right now for you, because we did have two number eights. Number eight represents kind of infinite potential, and then also basically different types of opportunities. Maybe there are a lot of things coming towards you, and it is a little bit hard for you to make a decision. However, I am not really seeing energies from kind of an external source. I really feel like, at least at the beginning of the year, it feels like your energies are a little bit more inward, and you're really focusing more on your personal development and your own life because so many things are going on at the same time. Now, I do feel like there's a little bit of an advice from your spirit guides, your spiritual team, where it says here, number 22, let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel it. It's like you might not be feeling the life because you're so busy living it. And then maybe for some of you, if you are currently in some sort of a connection with another person, maybe you're feeling like, oh, like it is not me. Like this really doesn't feel like what I want in my life. And you might be living according to other people's expectations, where you are seeking other people's approvals. However, I also see that there's a lot of hope coming up for you because, again, like it really feels like all of these energies that I'm currently seeing that's a little bit squishy, a little bit crammy, a little bit, I want to say like over the top or a bit intense. Like these seem to be the energies of your current life. Not necessarily only your love life, but like by the end of 2025 or maybe at the beginning of 2026 or whenever you're watching this does seem like a current energy. It doesn't really feel like, oh, this is like a future energy. This is the energy for you for the rest of 2026. What I'm seeing here in terms of kind of a more predictive energy is here, like Friends was number 25 and then Superstar was number 32. This Superstar, I really feel like this represents your energy for the rest of this year. And again, like I wonder if you are on a really tight deadline, whether you're trying to cram something. It's almost like you're like cramming for an exam. That's like the energy I'm getting, because for some reason I have time. Like I set aside this time to do your group's reading. However, I'm feeling like so in a rush. Like, are you in a rush for something? Are you running late for something? I wonder. Maybe you're running late for a date. Yeah. But anyways, let's take a look at this Friends card. So I am currently based out of the Northern Hemisphere. So it is winter season for me, and I really, I feel like here it does seem like the people in this particular card are wearing scarves, not scarves, sweaters. And it seems like it's more of a wintry, like fall wintry kind of vibe. So again, if you are watching this at a later date, maybe winter season could be a significant time, or the current season that you're in, because right now I'm in the winter season. The current season you're in might be a significant time for you. And then with friends, I feel like this is talking about that expectations. It's like you are releasing external expectations and you're curating a friend group where you can live as your true self. You can enjoy the current moment with all of these people. And then also, I also feel like because this is a reading about love life, I'm not getting a lot of energies from like a specific person. However, with this card, I really do feel like maybe you are having a crush on one of your friends, or maybe a friend of yours is crushing on you, or maybe multiple friends of yours are crushing on you because, you know, this is in plural. And also, I do feel like if you are expecting a new person, this person might already been be in your friend circle, or perhaps they're a friend of a friend, if that makes sense. And then with the superstar card, I feel like with this card, again, like this is definitely talking about your energy, where with the star, it's like the kind of a wish coming true sort of energy. So I do feel like if you do have a wish, if you made a wish just now when I was lighting our candle, I do feel like that wish would be coming true for you in the year of 2026. Or even if you're watching this like at a later date, it could be coming true in the current year whenever you're watching this video. But I assume most of you guys would be watching this in like late 2025 or early 2026. So with this superstar card, I really see you shining your light. I really see you living your life to the fullest. So it is like exactly the opposite to this energy of it's not me. It's kind of an energy where you are embodying your true self, you are embracing your true self, you're releasing other people's expectations. And I feel like this energy comes after this card that says be still. You are cultivating a space of stillness and silence to just be. You're cultivating a space where you can share with your friends. You're cultivating a space where you can shine like the superstar that you are. On top of that, I also feel like if you have a celebrity crush, you might be seeing them at a concert or, I don't know, at a fan meeting or somewhere. You might be running into them somehow, just randomly on the street or in a supermarket. Because of this superstar card. And then again, going back to numerology, because I love numerology, we have the number 25 and the number 32. So these might be significant ages for you. In terms of the number 8, again, this is about infinite possibility. And then the Justice card, this could also indicate kind of a partnership that is long lasting, a partnership that is significant in your life. And with this sword here, I feel like if you do get into a relationship during the year of 2026, which I feel like is pretty possible with the theme card being justice, it does feel like there's going to be very clear communications between you and this other person. And then I'm also seeing some dates. So the 25th, the 8th, the 12th, we have the 22nd, we have the 4th. All of these could be significant dates. They can be age gaps as well. And then maybe the month of August would be significant. I'm seeing August 25th. I'm seeing August 4th, August 22nd, August 12th. And then they might also be significant month like April, August, we already mentioned. Number 12 is December. So this could be December 2025 if you're watching in December 2025. So I think for now, these are all the general energies that I'm getting for you, my dear group number ones. And now let's get right into the tarot portion. So I'm gonna live shuffle the cards on camera. and I'm gonna put a timestamp down in the description box if you want to skip ahead. Also, I'm gonna do one card for each month. So if you're watching this at a later date in 2026, you can totally just like click on the timestamp and like fast forward to the month corresponding to wherever you are in the timeline of 2026. So now let's get right into the shuffling. So dear Spirit, for my dear group number ones, what's going on with their love life in the year of 2026? Let's get one card for each of the 12 months. So what's going on for January? We have the Chariot. We have the Hierophant for February. Oops. Do you want to be upright or reverse? Okay. 8 of Cups in reverse for March. Let's see. April. What's going on for my dear group number ones in the month of April in terms of their love life, please, Spirit? April. Ooh, we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Devil for the month of May. Let's get one more. For June, we have the King of Swords. Let me push these cards a little bit to this side so that you can see all of them. And sorry about the glare. Yeah, okay. Let's see. So for the second half of the year, what's going on in July, please, Spirit? Oops. We have the 7 of Wands. For August, okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles. September, please, Spirit. Okay. We have the Star. Oh my God, that's beautiful. So that wish that you made earlier, that could be coming true in September. October, please, Spirit. Okay. We have the Page of Wands. October, November, we have the Queen of Swords. We have the King of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords. Very good indication. So let's see, end of the year, December, what do we have here? End of the year, let's see if we finish strong. Okay. We have the Moon card in reverse. Interesting. All right. Now let's take a look at the back of the deck. We have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Let me put that right here. Okay, perfect. Now let's get right into your reading. Okay, this is going to be a big boy reading for all of you, my dear group number ones. I'm already seeing a lot of different information here. So I feel like there are a couple of different, if I kind of look at your love life in terms of the timeline of 2026, I can see a couple of different chapters happening. So at the beginning of the year, I noticed that the card for January and February, they actually came out together. So we have the Chariot and the Hierophant, which honestly, this is such a good, strong start of the year. And it's also interesting that you're starting the year with major cards, and then you're also ending the year with a major card. So that's quite interesting. So the beginning and the ending of the year would be kind of significant for all of you guys. So for the Chariot, obviously this indicates travel, and also it signifies victory. So for those of you who are traveling for the Christmas or New Year season, I do feel like maybe I see some of you guys are traveling to a place so that you can see somebody. This doesn't necessarily have to be your love interest. It could be a friend of yours or family. However, like I could also see that, oh, if you're traveling somewhere to see a particular person of interest, I could see that as well. And I can see that you are essentially kind of having a great time with them. And also, I do feel like you're going to be receiving a lot of attention when it comes to your love life with this chariot, because the chariot signifies victory. And I'm also feeling called to mention that with this Santa Claus, he has like bags of gifts, right? So I do see that, well, I mean, like to be fair, Christmas and New Year's are gift giving seasons, but I do feel like if you have a specific person in mind, you might be receiving a gift from that particular person that would make you very, very happy. And then also look at the Hierophant. Like this Hierophant figure, he is also giving out gifts to the children, which is kind of not a very typical image of the Hierophant, because usually the Hierophant is imparting wisdom, not necessarily giving something that's physical. So if you want something that's physical, if you want something that's material, I feel like something is materializing in your love life in January and February. Like, I feel like you would be seeing someone during this particular period of time. Like, seeing as in like you would see them physically. You would see them in person. And if you are expecting sort of a commitment from a person, I feel like January, February, especially February, would be a nice month. And I could see that there might be a proposal coming. There might be an offer coming for some of you guys. And speaking of offers, like when okay, I'm gonna skip over a little bit and just fast forward to April because we're talking about offers. So like I could totally see that something like somebody offering you something in the month of February, and it's for some reason it takes a pause in March because maybe one of you need to travel somewhere for work. Maybe you are in a different place during the holiday seasons and then you have to like travel back to where you work. For some reason, London as a place is really standing out. Like that's just coming up to the front of my mind. So I don't know if that's a significant place for some of you. And then also Thailand, for some reason, that's also kind of jumping to the upfront. And so I do see here like March would be kind of a month of a pause. Somebody is kind of walking, not away, but walking back. So I would also say that if you are expecting to reunite with a past person, I feel like March is the month where you take that contemplation, you kind of cultivate that space for yourself, and then think about whether this is something that you actually want. And then moving on to April, that's when a new opportunity is offered to you. A new opportunity is coming up for you. So, for example, right? Like if we're talking about someone proposing something to you, or someone actually proposing to you, right? In February, then in April, maybe that would be the month where you move in together and start a new chapter of your life. So that's what I'm seeing. And I really feel like kind of January through April, this is kind of one chapter of your, so the first like 1/3 of the year would be one chapter of your love life in 2026. And then kind of moving on to the second stage of your love life from May onwards. Like when you see the devil card, like don't be afraid, because I know that there might be a lot of negative connotations to this particular card. However, I do see that with this card, again, this is about physicality, materiality. It's about the 3D world. Like, I could see that maybe for some of you, there might be a separation, not necessarily because you want to separate, but because there is an external force. Now, like, I'm not necessarily seeing there's a third party in the situation, although if that's something that you resonate with, that could be the case. However, if that's not something you would resonate with, I do see that this might be, again, kind of a work situation where you might be like, okay, we are now trying to get together. However, you have a job assignment that requires you to move to Thailand, but I need to stay back in London because my work is in London, like this kind of thing. Whereas, like with the devil, like it feels like kind of like if it's a long distance thing, it would be like actual long distance with time difference, which can pose quite a bit of a challenge for all of you, my dear group number ones. And then also in like on a different front, I do see that there might be really, really strong physical attraction. And then there is a very interesting interpretation. Again, if you don't resonate, just leave it. But I do see that for some of you, if you're already in a connection with someone, May might be the month where you meet another person and you realize that you're slowly kind of getting interested in this other person. Maybe there is a very strong sort of attraction between you and this other person, which can be quite interesting. But then again, like obviously this is a general reading and you don't have to resonate with every single message. So this is what I'm seeing here. And then moving on to kind of June, this is when you and your person, and like I feel like for most of you, my dear group number ones, like at least during the first half of the year, like you have a person, like there is a connection going on, just to clarify that. And with the King of Swords, I feel like this is when that intelligence, that kind of being rational part of you and your person coming in and really reviewing what has happened during the first half of the year and be like, okay, what are we doing? Are we, like, for example, if it's a long distance relationship, like, are we gonna keep going with this long distance relationship, or are we gonna try to do something so that we can get back together in the same place? Or for some of you, if previously you started a new connection during the first half of the year, this is when you're going to be like, okay, I'm actually hungry for more. And I'm using the word hungry because all of a sudden I feel really hungry for some reason, even though I had a big breakfast. So it is interesting because here I feel like somebody wants more. And they are trying to make that happen. And by trying to make that happen, I'm seeing that like during June, and so from June, July to August, I see that that person is making an effort. With the Seven of Wands, I see that you or your person, or maybe both of you, are trying to defend. You're trying to defend your relationship. You're trying to defend what you have with the Seven of Wands, because see, like you've received a lot of gifts during the beginning of the year, and now you see the gifts behind you and you're standing tall, you're battling these other 6 wands, and you're trying to protect what you have. And then with August, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Now, Nine of Pentacles, I feel like here it can also signify victory. It's like you've been working really hard, you've been thinking really hard, and then you worked really hard so that you can get to this place where you're comfortable and enjoying the fruits of your labor. And that really lends itself well to building a nice foundation for that dream of yours to come true in your love life with the Star card. Now, this Star card, I feel like this is a new beginning. This is talking about kind of a new wish coming into your life, a manifestation coming into your life so that you can start off something that's completely different. Now, if you don't resonate with the message that you are already in a committed relationship at this point, which I do feel like for a lot of you, my dear group number ones, you have a person, like you have a connection. But if you don't resonate with that, like I definitely see the Star is kind of like that person of interest of yours coming together with you, having that union. Because then for the last part of the year, for October, November, and December. So for October, we have the Page of Wands, which is a new adventure. And this is somebody who's incredibly passionate about this new path. And that is absolutely beautiful. And it could also, if you resonate with this, because Page of Wands can also indicate children. If you do resonate with this message, maybe you are expecting a child to join your family. You're expecting a new member to join your family. It doesn't necessarily have to be a human child. It could be a furry baby as well. And then I think at the end of the year was November being indicated by the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords during the year, even though they are kind of a couple of months apart. I do see that you and this other person, you share a lot of similarity. You are both very intelligent and you're both rational. And because of that, you resonate on a level that is completely different from the other people that you might have had connections with in the past. And then here with the Queen of Swords kind of sitting on her throne, I could see that there is a sense of security. Like by the end of the year, you are in a place where you're very secure and you feel that, okay, I am comfortable where I am. And I'm happy with what I have. And that's both on a rational level and an emotional level. And then ending the year, we have the Moon card in reverse. I do feel like this indicates a new path opening up, kind of a new beginning, and also clarity. Because see, the Moon card is surrounded by the Devil, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. It's almost like you're getting out of a rut. Like you're getting out of this Devil energy with the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords working together with their intelligence, with their rationality. And that's what I'm seeing here for in terms of your timeline. And then on the back of the deck, we do have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like this is talking about like things getting easier. Like you might have been waiting for something to materialize for the longest time, and they're finally materializing at the beginning of 2026 here. And you don't have to wait any longer. It's like you've cultivated this garden for so long, and now this year it is time for the wish to come true. It is time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor with the Nine of Pentacles, with the Star card. And that's what I'm seeing here, my dear group number ones, in terms of your love life in 2026. And now that we have arrived at the end of your reading, I also want to pull some cards for advice for you. So I'm just going to use one of my favorite oracle deck, the Power of Surrender cards, to see if your spiritual team has anything that they would like to let you know. So for my dear group number ones, in order for their wish to come true? Is there anything they need to do? What would be your advice for my dear group number ones, Spirit? What would be your advice? Oof. Okay, that one came out really strongly. We have surrender, procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Well, the card did jump out. Taking action will attract success. Okay, so that's kind of talking about the beginning of the year was the Chariot energy. Now, Chariot is success. However, it is also hard-earned success, right? And then also with your year's theme card being justice, I also feel like it's justice about giving and receiving. It's about cultivating something and receiving the fruits of your labor. And I feel like that's kind of the theme for you in the year of 2026. Take actions, and the universe is co-creating with you. The universe is helping you manifest the desired outcome. We have surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Now, this I feel like is reiterating the message from earlier with your theme cards of the Oracle decks. So this is kind of talking about that energy of cultivating your passion with your friend groups, living your life, making sure that you're really enjoying the present moment. And that might just lead you to the person that you are interested in. Okay, let's get one more. All right. We have surrender to effortlessness. Yeah, stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. And again, I feel like this is talking about that co-creation with the universe. Once you put in the effort, it is time for you to receive that effortless success because the universe wants to see you succeed. Your spiritual teams are always there to help you out. They're always there to give you that extra push to help you manifest exactly what you want. And that's what I'm seeing here for you, my dear group number ones, all about your love life in detail in the year of 2026. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did resonate with the reading, please don't forget to leave me a comment, a like, or subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading in the future. Again, thank you so much for being here. I'm really grateful that I have this opportunity to do the reading for you. Again, I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks and bye. Hey loves. If you have chosen the Hinoki candle right here, then you're in the right place. And this would be the reading for you, all about your 2026 love life, what's new, what's going on, and all that sort of good stuff. So before I start off with your reading, I would actually like to light the scented candle that you have chosen so that we have the energy of the candle permeating throughout the entire reading. And as I light this candle, you can feel free to take a deep breath and then make a wish about your love life in 2026 or whatever other wishes you might have. You can make multiple wishes as well if you want. So let's take a deep breath together, my dear group number twos. All right, now make a wish. And as I light this candle, may all my group number twos wishes come true. Thank you, Spirit. Now let me just put this candle right here and make sure it's still on camera. All right, so now that that's done, let's get right into your readings. So as you can see here, I've pre-shuffled some oracle cards to get a general sense of the energy of your love life in the year of 2026. Now let's get right into your cards. So the theme card for you for the year of 2026 in terms of your love life is the Magician with number 1. Okay. Then we have number 22, Library, take control of your own narrative. Interesting. And then we have number 34, message of love. Let's take a look at this one. We have number 31, celebration. And then last but not least, you got 2 cards from the same deck, even though my intention was to get 1 card from each of the decks. So let's see what we have here. We have number 18, it is okay to be misunderstood. And one more, which is number 28, review your responsibilities. Not all responsibilities are ours to hold. Okay. All right. Let me just make sure all of these cards are on camera and nicely laid out. All right, perfect. It seems like everything is on camera. Now let's get right into your readings. So, my dear group number 2s, I am really, really excited for y'all for this upcoming year in terms of your love life. I really like numerology, so I'm going to start off with some numerologies right here. So as you can see here, centering your reading, we have the Magician, which is card number 1. And then we also have number 22. And then also number 34. So now number 1, obviously it's about initiation, it's about new beginning, it's about manifesting something from 0 to 1, taking that step forward. Whereas number 22, that's a master number and it signifies collaboration. So partnership, 2 people working together to build something together. Whereas number 34, like for me, this number always signifies divine union because it's number 3, the Empress, and number 4, the Emperor. So with all of these, also you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So essentially that is kind of taking steps forward, building out a timeline from, I want to say January to April. Perhaps the first part of the year would be significant for some of you. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And then let's take a look at the other numbers here. You have number 31, celebration. You have number 18, number 28. When I saw number 18 and number 28 came out because they're from the same deck, I was thinking maybe this could indicate a 10-year age gap. So 18 and 28, those might also be significant ages. 18, 28, 34, 22, 31, all of these could be significant ages or significant dates. I'm not going to name all the dates, but if any of the numbers stand out to you, that might be some extra confirmation for those of you who are also into numerology. But now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the messages of your cards. So first off, Magician. Right? So if you've been watching tarot readings or if you are a reader yourself, you might know that Magician is one of the most auspicious cards within tarot. It is the card that talks about divine manifestation. It talks about someone who's so resourceful that they can literally create whatever they want, right? And then with this particular Magician card, I'm like, see this feather right here? This feather reminds me of a feather pen. So the feather pen that you would see people using in movies like Harry Potter, right? And it makes me feel like there is a message from the universe. There is a message from your spiritual team, and they want you to know that good things are coming for you. And as I was saying that, the camera timer flashed to 0606. And for me, number 6 also reminds me of divine love. It is kind of a type of love that's coming from divine, that is divinely orchestrated. It is also about unconditional love. It's also the number of the lovers within tarot. So that's definitely a very, very auspicious sign. Now, if we look at the messages present on all of these oracle cards, I could almost see a story kind of playing out. So it seems like it's like, you know what? I feel like we need to rearrange the cards a bit, because this makes me feel like there is a story going on. So at the very beginning of the storyline, or at the beginning of the year, where it says perception is not always based on the truth, it feels like in your love life, when you are projecting out, like the image that you're projecting out in the public might be a little bit different from who you are as a person. And that might be the case when you are engaging with people that you're interested in from a love perspective. However, as you move forward from this energy, I could kind of see that you are receiving some sort of a moment of epiphany. Or maybe it's also like after kind of being misunderstood, after getting hurt by those misunderstandings, that's when you realize that it is not your responsibility for other people to understand what you're going through. It is not your responsibility to advertise, to announce, to explain to other people what is going on with you, with your love life. You can keep things private. You don't necessarily have to fit yourself into other people's narratives. And that's where we have this library, take control of your own narrative. This is when you're taking that empowered move and you're moving forward. You are no longer a puppet that's being manipulated by other people. Instead, you are connecting with your higher self. So if you believe in the idea of us having higher selves, if you believe in the idea that our 3D selves are kind of avatars for our 5D or our higher selves, I feel like this is you working actively, like your 3D self actively working with your 5D self to reshape the narratives, to take control of your life, of what you want in love. And this is the message that you're receiving. You might be receiving an actual message from a person of interest, or this might be talking about kind of in general divine messages from the universe to you. And that is the message of love. Like the most divine type of love that we can experience, or one of the most divine types of love, one of the most unconditional types of love that we can experience in this lifetime, is our unconditional love for ourselves. And that might be the message that the universe has been trying to get through to you. And as you understand that, that's when you take that leap of faith. That's when all of the resources available to you are becoming so obvious that you cannot ignore what you have anymore. And you're celebrating with your friends for this new revelation, for this new perspective that you have on life. And this overall, this seems like such a beautiful story. This seems like such a beautiful timeline that when I'm reading for you, I'm already getting so excited and I'm getting chills down my spine, my dear group number 2s. This is absolutely amazing. I really, really love what we're seeing here in terms of the overall energy of your love life. And for those of you who are intending to manifest a new person into your life, because we have this number 1 here, we have the magician here, it is very possible. And as I was saying that, the camera timer flashed to 11:11. So definitely new beginning, new people, new love coming into your life. And as I was saying that, 11:22. So again, like if you've been seeing a lot of repeating numbers, a lot of angel numbers, this might be the extra confirmation needed for you, my dear group number 2s. All right, so now that we have essentially got some messages from the overall energy of your love life in 2026, I want to start off shuffling a tarot deck. And as I mentioned in the intro, we're just going to get one card to represent each month of the year from January to December. And then we're going to get the back of the deck energy. So it's going to take a minute for me to shuffle. If you want to skip ahead, I'm going to put a timestamp down below in the description box so that you can skip ahead. But if you want to stay, let's shuffle together for my dear group number 2s. What's going on with their love life in the year of 2026, my dear spirit, my dear group 2's spiritual teams. Let's get a card for January, starting off the year. We have the World to start off the year. Okay, starting strong. February, please, spirit. All right. February, we have Temperance. And then for March, we have the Knight of Pentacles. How about April? Okay. We have the Two of Swords in reverse for April. Let's see. Oops. Okay. For May, we have the Knight of Cups in the upright. And for June, we have the Eight of Cups. Let's see, the second half of the year. Okay, that one came out really fast. For July, we have the Ace of Swords. Okay. Okay, your cards are coming out fast. For August, we have the Seven of Swords. For September, let's see what's going on. Ace of Cups. Okay, okay. How about October, please, Spirit? What's going on for my dear group number 2s? All right. We have the Ace of Wands. Oh my gosh. Okay. For November, we have the Moon in reverse. Okay, interesting energy. Group number 1 also got the Moon in reverse, but for December. And then for December, let's see what's going on. December, let's get the card to end 2026. All right. Do you want to be upright or reverse? Okay, we have the King of Cups in reverse. On the back of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Oh my gosh, what's going on? So group number 1 also got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse as the overall energy. Oh, wait, is this? Oh, no, sorry. This is Eight of Pentacles. JK. So group number 1 got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, whereas for y'all, my dear group number 2s, you got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, cool. Now that that is sorted, let's make sure you can see all of your cards. All right, so let's get right into it. Okay, we've got all of the cards here, and sorry about the glare. Definitely you're starting off the year strong, which is kind of similar to Group 1's energies, because Group 1 also started off with 2 major arcana cards for January and February. And here you have the World and Temperance. Now for, first off, let's talk about January, right? So for January, I can see that there is a significant level up in your love life. Now this could potentially talk about the ending of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. It says peace on earth here on this particular card. So I wonder if you're making peace with someone from the past, or someone who's currently in your life, and you are closing out some sort of an old cycle. And it doesn't necessarily, well, I mean, this is a love reading. It's about your love life. So I do feel like this would at least be in the relationship department, where you might be kind of just closing something out, tying off loose ends. And letting the old, like, what's that saying? It's like, let the dust be dust, or yeah, something like that, something to that effect. You know what I mean? But essentially, it's like I really do feel like, or maybe for some of you, are you graduating from something? Because this card really gives me a really strong sense of you finishing something off. And there is an intention to move forward. And I feel like for some of you, this could, in a love reading, this could talk about ending a connection with someone on very amicable terms. So I don't really see this being kind of a very like a struggle, a painful ending. It's more like yeah, we're fine. I'm at peace now. I am content with what happened. And then I could see that going into the year, you are looking forward to a new beginning. And it is interesting because the energy for the first half of the year, I want to say, is pretty slow. Why do I say that? If you look at, this is why I wanted to do one card per month to see the storyline. Now, the storyline that I am seeing, for some reason, when I'm doing your reading, I'm just so much more pumped up. Please don't tell group number ones. But I'm just a lot more pumped up for this reading for some reason. But essentially, with the Temperance card here, you see like this angel is standing up. And they're like minding their own business. They're like pouring the water in the 2 cups. And they're like, not without a care, right? They're not caring about what's going on around them. They're really focused on the cups in their hand. And that makes me feel like there is going to be a period of stillness. Like maybe for some of you, this is talking about kind of a single period where you're like, okay, well, I only want to focus on myself. I want to focus on the cups in my hands. And I want to focus on what fills my cups instead of drains my cups, right? So this, I think February, it might talk about a period of time where you're like, okay, I want to stay quiet for a bit. I want to stay under the radar for a bit. I don't necessarily want to venture out. And then throughout the rest of the first half of the year, you're going to slowly but surely get out of this particular energy. With the Knight of Pentacles, you see how like you're kind of walking towards the future because the horse is facing towards the future. And however, with this horse, with the Knight of Pentacles, you're not walking forward. Like the horse is not walking forward. The horse is like standing still. And with the horse standing still, you're essentially not doing a lot, but you're like kind of on the lookout of something. It's like, okay, well, I'm kind of now interested in getting out of my shell now, but I still have a lot going on. Because the Knight of Pentacles could also talk about responsibilities. And it's interesting because when we were doing your energy check, there was that card that said, not everything's your responsibility or something to that effect. And I feel like this Knight of Pentacles is talking about you picking and choosing the responsibilities that you like, that you would like to shoulder, that you're okay with having. And well, at the same time, you're on the lookout for love. And then moving on to April, it does seem like April would be kind of a limbo sort of period for you, where you don't really see a lot going on. There's like nothing. Maybe you meet someone, but then nothing comes through. What I could see here is kind of like one-off dates if you're like trying to date around and then nothing comes out of it, nothing really materializes out of it. However, that's going to change in May and June. Now in May, we have the Knight of Cups. So when this card came out, I was thinking, okay, maybe there's going to be a new person coming in around May. But more importantly, I could see that this is you. So moving from the energy of the Knight of Pentacles to the Knight of Cups, you're slowly but surely moving forward, because now see the horse is walking forward. And you hold this cup with all of this glittery, beautiful energy here. You're ready to share your cup. So if you were with the Temperance card back in February, if you were pouring, you're preparing, and now finally you're ready to share this cup with someone. You're open. You're actively looking out for potential opportunities. And as you actively look out for opportunities are going to come to you. You're going to leave behind what no longer fills your cups, and you're essentially moving forward with all of the reindeers pulling forward your carriage. Or is that a carriage? I'm pretty sure it's another word, but you know what I mean. It's like basically you're sitting in this carriage being pulled forward by literally 4 reindeers instead of 1 horse. Like you're taking off. You're taking off, and like I could also see that if some of you are relocating, it's going to happen very smoothly, very swiftly. Or if you're not actually physically relocating, you might be emotionally relocating. You might be moving on, like moving from this limbo energy to an energy of actively creating, actively manifesting new things into your life. And new things are coming. If we look at the second half of the year, if we look at July, we have the Ace of Swords. So that's immediately coming in like a fast, like a very swift energy where you get some sort of important communications. So with the Ace of Swords, this could talk about you with this other person kind of starting to communicate a lot more, starting to talk a lot more. And I also sense that for some reason, that celebration card from earlier is coming back, where that celebration card was talking about how you are celebrating with your friends. And I almost feel like for some of you, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a person who's introduced to you, or it's a person that you somehow got to know through a friend. With the Ace of Swords, for some reason, there's that communication network kind of feeling for me. And then moving on from the Ace of Swords, we have the Seven of Swords, which is interesting because with the Seven of Swords, there's a sneaky energy. There's somebody sneaking around. And I feel like this might be talking about a new person sneaking up on you. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone who's been observing you from a distance. Not like stalking you or anything like weird, but like they might be in the same friend circle. They might be a friend of a friend. They might have known your existence, but they haven't really presented themselves to you. And for some reason, I have this feeling that like around July, August-ish time, they might be coming forward. So July, August, and September, they might be coming forward. They might be coming out of this like sneaky, hidden sort of energy to offer you gifts, to offer you sweetness. Because see, all of this, I think these are marshmallows on this card with the Ace of Cups. And here, like literally centering your reading, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands. These two aces are both really, really good for relationship or love readings because this is an emotional new beginning, and this Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning. So if you are into, sexual relationships and like all that sort of fun stuff, then the last part of the year, the last quarter of the year might be the time for you that there might be, you might get lucky, you know what I mean? If you do. But with the Ace of Cups here, this is a very significant month in terms of October with the Ace of Wands. And then if we look at like September, October, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, this could very much be talking about a new relationship. And you have 3 aces out of 4. What are the odds of getting 3 out of 4 aces, right? And then you also got the Magician, which is the number 1 card for the first part of your reading. So I definitely see that for those of you who want a new relationship in the year of 2026, I would be very surprised if you don't get a new relationship, if you don't have new love coming your way. And this is beautiful new love that's going to fill your cup, that's going to make you so happy, and that's going to bring in this spring, lively, beautiful, celebratory energy into your life. And then moving on to the end of the year, if we look at November and December, which is essentially exactly a year from now, we have the moon in reverse, which group number 1 also got. We have the King of Cups in reverse. So I do see that there's going to be some turbulence by the end of next year. And I'm going to be completely honest with you because honestly, like your entire reading has been so positive so far. I wouldn't be super worried. But what I can see here with the moon in reverse and the King of Cups both in reverse is that there is going to be some self-doubt energy by the end of next year. So the reason why I'm saying that is because if I could sense that if you get into a new relationship and you haven't fully closed your old patterns, this might be your old patterns kind of like coming back to haunt you sort of energy. With the moon in reverse, I could see that you might have things that you're not willing to share. With the King of Cups also, I really don't think these are the energies from the other person, or even if they were energies from the other person in a connection with you, I feel like these are more of your projections. And group number 2 is, I'm just gonna quickly call you out on this, but like sometimes if you are the type of person who likes to overthink, who is a little bit more anxious, especially feeling a little bit insecure in closeness with other people, in intimate relationships with other people, I feel like this is when you need some shadow work done, because the moon card can also signify shadow work. And I do feel like by the end of next year, because, like usually by the end of the year, it's when you do a full review of the whole year. It's when holiday seasons is coming up, is when you go back and see your family, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's time for you to introduce this new person to your friends, to your families, etc. So with all of those almost responsibilities, quote unquote, I could see you're starting to doubt yourself a little bit. You're like, okay, is this person my King of Cups? Is this person actually gonna make me happy in the long term? Because if you look at this cup, if you look at this cup that this king has versus this cup that the knight has, see how this cup seems a little bit more elaborate, and it seems like gems on the cup, whereas this one is a plain cup. So I feel like with this card coming out in the reverse position, it almost feels like You're like, okay, am I ready for this upgrade? Am I ready to move on from the knight to the king? And the king is here. The king is present in the reading. The difference here is whether you want to trust, whether you want to believe in what you have in front of you, whether you want to believe and trust in the universe, whether you want to believe in and trust yourself. And then with the Eight of Pentacles coming out in the reverse position here, I really feel like this is talking about letting go of certain responsibilities, letting go of the old narratives that you've been curating, that you've been putting together for yourself, that has been weighing you down. Eight of Pentacles talks about mastery when it is in the light energy. In its shadowy energy, it can talk about that mentality of, oh, I am important because I'm busy. I am doing well because my calendar is always full. However, that might not necessarily be the case. And then in the context of your love life, I really feel like this card is talking about shedding old skins, closing out old chapters, embracing new narratives and new mentalities, like letting go of the old thing that you've been crafting, start a new craft. And your new craft is coming with the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, with the Magician. Your new craft is coming. And as I was saying that, camera timer 33:11. So repeating numbers again, that might be your thing, my dear group number 2s. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing in terms of your timeline in 2026. And before I end your reading, I would like to shuffle another oracle deck, which is my favorite, and get some advice for you, my dear group number 2s. So Spirit, for my dear group number 2s, what are the advice? Okay, surrender to your full power. Your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. That's exactly the energy for the Magician. The Magician never plays it small. The Magician is always surrendering to their full power. Also, because there's a line here, Leo season might be significant. You might be a Leo, your person might be a Leo, or just in general, end of July to end of August might be significant. Let's see. Let's get a couple more, please, Spirit. Advice. I'm hearing you know what you need to do. Okay, we have surrender to creativity. Again, creativity. That is that energy from the Magician. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Yeah, look at the imagery. Here we have a mirror. Look in the mirror, see yourself, and see how awesome you are, my dear group number 2s. You really don't need anybody else to validate you. You don't need to follow other people's narratives. Follow your own narrative, take control of your life, and step into your full power. All right, let's see. Last but not least, we have surrender comparisons with other people. Yes. This is, again, circling back to what we were saying earlier during the energy check portion. It's like you don't have to subject yourself to other people's judgment. Because comparisons, that's a societal thing. We always want to have bigger, better, shinier things than other people. But why? Because we were told to do so, because we have been socialized to do that kind of stuff. However, we don't have to. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strength, attractiveness, and power. Literally, I feel like all three of these cards, they're essentially talking about the same thing. And again, for all of you, my dear group number 2s, I really do see that 2026 would be a very exciting year for you in terms of your love life. Whatever you're trying to create in your love life, I really believe in that you are co-creating that with the universe. You're co-creating exactly what you want. You're manifesting exactly what you want. All you need is a little bit more trust in yourself. right, so that's what I'm seeing here for you, my dear group number twos. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this reading, and for allowing me the opportunity to read for you. I am really grateful. So if you did resonate with the reading, please don't forget to leave me a like, to leave me a comment, or to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload in the future. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of gratitude, and I hope you have a wonderful upcoming year of 2026. I hope all your wishes regarding your love life or anything else come true for you, my dear group number twos, and I'll see you again very soon in the next reading. Bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the elderflower candle, then this is going to be your reading all about your love life in the year of 2026. Welcome. So before I start off the reading for you, I am going to light your scented candle so that we have the energy of the candle and the scent permeating the entire reading for you. And as I light this candle, feel free to take a deep breath and make a wish about your love life in 2026 or any other wishes that you might have. Now let's get started. Let's take a deep breath together. And now close your eyes and make a wish. Now, may all of my group number three's wishes come true as I light their candle. There we go. Let me put this candle right here so that you can see it. All right, perfect. So let's get right into the energy check portion of your reading. So I have all of these oracle cards pre-shuffled, and let's get right into it. Let's see what you have. So the first card we've got here is the Wheel of Fortune. Then we have number 23, Confidence. It comes with time and practice. We have number 24, Let Love Guide You. Choose to see the good in the world today. Then we have number 15, Learning. And then last but not least, we have number 21, Burden of Tears. Interesting. Okay. Let me just make sure. All right, all the cards are in frame. Perfect. Let's get right into it. Okay, so definitely for the year of 2026, in terms of your love life, my dear group number threes, it's a significant year. Like with the Wheel of Fortune centering your reading, this is definitely going to be a year where your fortune is shifting. And I could definitely see that whatever wishes that you might have regarding your love life in 2026, those wishes are coming true. And as I'm saying this, I get goosebumps throughout my entire back, like just goosebumps all over, and my hair is standing up. So that's definitely a confirmation. I usually take that as a sign, as your spiritual teams are close and they're trying to whisper something in your ears. So that's very beautiful. Another thing that I'm picking up on in terms of the general energy is that 2026 is a period for you to learn from your past, close past chapters, and then entering into a new chapter, especially for those of you who are in your 20s or who are already past your early 20s, because we do have number 21, 23, and 24 here. So it makes me think that maybe you've learned a lot throughout these couple of years of your early 20s, and now you're wrapping up those learnings so that you can move forward with your love interest or with your love style, with your attachment style. I could definitely see that with the Burden of Tears. This seems to be kind of a past or recent energy where you might have experienced some sort of a heartbreak, and that might be because of a certain attachment style that you have, especially for those who are either avoidant or maybe anxious when it comes to attachment styles. I do feel like because of that, you might have recently had a heartbreak in your love life. However, that heartbreak also helps you learn from what you've experienced. Now, on this learning card, I see this person has a beautiful candle right here and has a bunch of books, and they're reading a book as well. So for those of you who are into candle magic, I feel like this might be a confirmation. And then also with all of the books, I feel like this is giving self-learning, self-help kind of energy. So for those of you who have been reading books in the self-help category, for those of you who have been receiving therapy or coaching, I feel like this might also be a confirmation. Also, the fact that we have the number 15 here. Now, this is the number corresponding to the Devil card in tarot. And that can talk about our deepest fears, because the devil whispers in your ears telling you that you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, and those things can be very disheartening. However, I do see that these energies are kind of receding, and they're kind of like in the past with the wheel of fortune turning. If you've been feeling unlucky in your love life recently, I feel like this is talking about that fortune turning. Now, if we take a look at this confidence card, with it comes with time and practice, I do feel like you have been putting in time and energy and essentially rigor and resilience to learn and to practice your confidence. I also love the fact that this seems to be in a bus. This person seems to be traveling somewhere, and I definitely feel like there is kind of an energy of moving on. So whatever heartbreaks that you've recently had, I feel like this is talking about you moving on from that. And then we have number 23 and number 24 here. So that's in succession. And that's moving on from this energy from the 21 to an energy that's a lot more fortunate, to an energy where you feel a lot more confident and comfortable with yourself. And then also, if you look at the imagery of this card, we have this bag here and it has a sword on it. Now, this sword reminds me of the Ace of Swords in tarot, and that signifies clarity. So I do feel like for a lot of you in 2026 in your love life, you're gonna be a lot more clear on what exactly you want, what exactly you need, and be a lot more clear with your boundaries and be a lot more assertive with whatever it is that you're desiring in your love life. You're cutting away all the BS. You're cutting away things that are no longer serving you. And that is how you move on to this energy that says, let love guide you, choose to see the good in the world today, and then you are finally seeing the good. So again, for those of you who have been feeling unfortunate, who have been feeling unlucky, this is that wheel of fortune turning so that you can see the beautiful part of the world, so that you can see the light part of the world after you've dealt with your shadows. So hopefully you resonate with this energy, because this is a really, really beautiful energy, and I feel really peaceful and content as I am delivering these messages to you. I think it's interesting that each group so far has had pretty different energies, and with your group, this is where I feel the most peace, the most contentment. and I feel like, oh, I have all the time and energy in the world to deliver this reading to you. And you might notice that I'm even talking a little bit slower, just taking my time and letting the energies, letting the messages flow. So those would be the main energies for you in 2026 regarding your love life. And now I'm going to shuffle a tarot deck to get cards to represent each and every single one of the month of the year. So I'm gonna live shuffle the deck, and if you want to skip forward, I'm gonna put a timestamp down below so that you can skip the shuffling process. Now let's take a look at my group number 3's specific details of their love life in 2026, month by month. Let's get one card for each of the months, please, Spirit. What's going on? All right, we have the Two of Swords coming out for January. Oops. We have the King of Swords representing February. Your cards are coming out pretty fast. Oh, wow. Okay. So March, we have the Nine of Wands. April, we have the Fool card. Let's see, May, what's going on? So May, we have the Ten of Wands. And June, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Let's take a look at July. Oops. July, we have the Six of Cups. August, the Hanged Man. September, wow, the Four of Wands. Okay. October, the Knight of Swords. November, the Three of Swords in reverse. Love that. And December, please, Spirit. What's going on in December? We have the Knight of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful energies. Let me push this over here. And then let's take a look at the back of the deck. We have the Strength card on the back of the deck. Beautiful, beautiful energies. Okay. So I definitely feel like the theme for all of you, my dear group number 3's, is healing and learning in 2026. I feel like for those of you who are looking forward to something new coming into your life, it's probably gonna happen halfway through the year or later during the year. So the reason why is that I see that from January through March, I feel like there's an energy of you kind of battling your, what's the right word here? Battling your past shadows. With the Two of Swords representing your January energy, I feel like early 2026, you essentially have this crossroad being presented in front of you, and that is whether you want to choose to remain in your comfort zone, remain in your old patterns, versus taking a new step ahead. And with the King of Swords here, I definitely feel like you're choosing to take a different path, because the King of Swords here, I do feel like this could be representing your energy. And as I'm saying that, I don't know if you can see, but like the flame of your candle was kind of dancing a little bit. So I feel like this might be a confirmation for some of you. So the King of Swords represents someone who's incredibly intelligent, who knows exactly what's going on, who makes wise decisions from a very intelligent and rational point of view. So I do feel like for a lot of you, in January and February, you are making an important decision about your love life. And for some of you, that might be a decision to cut off people who are no longer serving your highest and best good, or at least making a very significant shift in your love life, because this is where you made the decision to move forward. And with the Nine of Wands representing your March energy, I feel like there's a little bit of a back and forth. So even though you've decided to move forward, even though you have made the decision to kind of see things from a more rational point of view, to learn from your past, with the Nine of Wands here, it feels like you are fighting a difficult battle. It's like this battling between your current energy versus your past energy. And you are essentially trying to move forward. However, there is that dragging. And that energy of dragging is like your past trying to hold on to you, but you are determined, because Nine of Wands talks about resilience, it talks about determination. And I see that you are determined to move forward. And as you move into April, we have the Fool card, and this talks about the beginning of a hero's journey, the beginning of your journey, where you can finally let go of whatever is holding you back in the past, whatever pattern that's no longer serving your highest and best good, or whoever is no longer serving your highest and best good, and then jumping into a new journey. And this new journey can talk about a new relationship, a new person coming into your life. And then also the Fool card could talk about literally a new person who's embodying the energy of the Fool, which is not saying that they're a foolish person. This is saying that they have that innocence, that happiness and carelessness. It's like they're so carefree, and they bring in this lightheartedness into your life. And this could also talk about your energy, and I feel like there's a little bit of a mirroring, where you are also embodying this energy. You are vibrating on the same wavelength as this person coming into your life. And then in May, we have the Ten of Wands. Now, this Ten of Wands, I could see a couple of different interpretations, because if you look at the imagery of this particular Ten of Wands, usually in the Rider-Waite Smith deck, you only have one person holding on to the Ten of Wands, kind of like being very tired or exhausted. However, we can see that there's another person kind of cleaning up the snow, who seems to be waiting for this person holding on to the 10 wands to come towards them. So I feel like this could be talking about you kind of still sort of holding on to past energies, past baggages. However, you have a new person waiting for you. You are moving forward towards a person who has been kind of waiting to help you out, who's been waiting to share this burden that you have. And for some of you, this could also talk about work-related issues. It can talk about other types of responsibilities, not necessarily only past baggage from your love life or past heartbreaks. And I thought it was interesting that we have the card representing November being the reversed Three of Swords right underneath this card representing May. So it feels like there's a cycle where you are letting go of your burden, you're healing past wounds. And then moving on to June, here we have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this Nine of Pentacles talks about you being a very attractive energy. You might have different options with your love life. And then here we have a bird. kind of sitting on top of this person's hand. And usually when I see a bird, that represents a messenger. So I do feel like if you have met a person at this point of the year, or if you have a particular person of interest, this might be talking about you and that person kind of getting into a closer relationship, chatting with each other a lot more, being connected with each other. And that builds a really, really nice foundation for the second half of the year, where you have the Six of Cups being in July. So as we move into July, we have the Six of Cups, where one person is giving a gift, is giving a cup to the other person. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you maybe have your birthday or some sort of celebration in July, where this other person in your life is giving you a beautiful gift, or they are proposing some sort of a commitment to you. They're sort of like giving you that message of wanting to move forward with you in a more, like, in a closer connection, kind of like wanting to up level your connection. And that's really, really beautiful. And the Six of Cups can also represent unconditional love and soulmates. So if you resonate with those energies, with those messages, this could be talking about what's going on between you and a significant soulmate, a significant other. And then moving on to August, we have the Hanged Man. So I feel like this is where you take a pause in your love life and reflect on what has happened so far in the year. Reflecting on kind of what has happened, how far you've gone, how much learning you have achieved at this point of your life, especially in your love life. I feel like you've done a lot of healing. You've helped yourself advance in your soul's journey. And at this point of your journey, after the full energy, this is where you take a pause and then take a different perspective. And this could also talk about a pause between you and another person for a variety of reasons. For example, you got super busy with your work, the other person got super busy with life, and then that might essentially pause your relationship. But this doesn't mean that you're having a breakup or you are getting like further and further away from each other. I do feel like this is talking about the two of you kind of waiting on each other, letting the other person have the space needed so that you can get back together in a better version of yourselves. So that is what I'm seeing here. And the Hanged Man also is Pisces energy. And Pisces, as a zodiac sign, is, for me at least, it always represents this sensitivity and this empathetic energy. And it also represents a shift in your worldview. So I do feel like this is where you kind of, again, have that significant shift, and it is going to lead on to kind of a betterment, an advancement in your journey. And that then moves on to September, where we have the Four of Wands. So for a lot of you, this could talk about a new level of commitment that this person has proposed to you, has offered to you back in July. Now, this could literally talk about engagement. It could talk about wedding. It could talk about like this significant union between you and this person, whatever that means to you. It might be that you are finally recognizing each other as as your significant other. It could be that you're finally moving on to the next level of closeness. It could be talking about potentially the two of you moving in together. It could be many, many possibilities, but overall, the gist is that you are getting closer and closer to each other. You are building that relationship to the next level, and that is really, really beautiful energy. And at the same time, the Four of Wands, for me, this is a 11-11 card. So if you resonate with having a twin flame, this could also talk about a union between you and your twin flame. This could talk about you having a union with a significant soulmate, and that's really beautiful. And then moving on to the last part of the year, again, I feel like this really talks about you making the decision to cut away your past. This is talking about starting anew. With the Knight of Swords, I feel like this talks about better communication. It could even talk about a word vomit. So for some of you, this is the month where you fully open up to your person, or your person fully opening up to you, where you have kind of a really deep and significant conversation about exactly what you want in this relationship, in this connection with each other. It is kind of coming in really, really fast. As you can see here on the image of this card, this Knight of Swords is coming in with a lot of force, a lot of velocity, and it's coming in with a goal in mind. And I love that during February, you had the King of Swords, and now you have the Knight of Swords. It feels like I'm hearing that you are renewing in your energy. You're renewing your journey. So previously, you've made a really smart, a helpful decision about your love life. And now it's kind of like you're reverting back to a younger energy, because the Knight is younger than the King. The Knight has more drive than the King. And here I feel like you're having more drive to build up your relationship with this other person. And it's also interesting that I'm definitely seeing the dynamics of you and another person. So I do feel like for a lot of you, whether this is a new person or an old person coming back, you most likely will be interacting with a significant other, a significant person during the year of 2026. It doesn't feel like you're experiencing your learning by yourself, even though you've learned a lot by yourself. I feel like this is a year where you apply those learnings to a relationship that is significant to you. And I also love that towards the end of the year in November, we have the Three of Swords, which we talked a little bit about earlier. This is talking about a full-on, just deep healing where you let your confidence flow, where you embrace your true self and let your authentic self come out. Whether that's you recognizing what exactly you want versus you expressing. I feel like this is more about you expressing exactly what you want to your partner, to your significant person. It's like you're finally opening up. And this could also talk about a difficult conversation. Now, the conversation might be difficult because you're fully opening up, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like, I don't think it's going to be a bad, quote unquote, a bad conversation. I think it's going to be a very constructive and helpful conversation that must happen in order for you and this person to move on to the next level. And our next level, see, we have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups has their back towards the Knight of Swords. They're moving to two different directions. And I feel like this is where you let your emotions guide your decisions a lot more. You're still making smart decisions in your love life. However, you are letting more of your emotions, you're letting more of your empathetic part come out. And this is a completely reversal of energy versus the King of Swords, because the King of Swords is all about rationality, whereas the Knight of Cups, this is where we take it slow, but we're also letting our emotions rule the direction that we're going towards. And that is a very, very beautiful energy in terms of your love life. And then overall, like the energy of your reading is the strength card, which is on the back of the deck. Now, strength for me can talk about soul mates, soul best friends. So this is definitely talking about 2026 is the year where you can potentially have a union with this significant person in your life. And it could also talk about kind of moving on from a very difficult period of your life and healing and learning. So I feel like, again, the key word for you in 2026 is learning, and is applying those new learnings to a new connection that you might have. Like, even if this is a connection from the past, I feel like there is that new energy with that wheel of fortune turning. There's new fortune in your love life in 2026. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of your timeline in the 2026, in the year of 2026 for your love life. And now, towards the end of your reading, I am shuffling another oracle deck, which is my favorite, to get you some advice, some suggestions from your spiritual teams and your spirit guides. Now, my dear group number 3 spiritual teams, my dear group number 3's spirit guides, what's going on? Like, what kind of suggestions, advice? I'm also hearing words of caution. So we have surrender to passion, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Exactly. This is where you move on from that rational energy towards the end of the year, where you have more of an emotional energy, more of a passionate energy. And this is exactly that. Let's see, what else? We have surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice experiencing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Again, learning, right? Like, surrender to setting limits. I think we talked a little bit about you being more assertive during the earlier part of your reading. And this is exactly that. I love the fact that your spiritual teams are giving all of these confirmations for our reading. Let's get one more, please. Group number 3, spiritual teams. Group number 3, spirit guides. All right. We have surrender, defensiveness. Okay, I feel like this might be talking about that past energy of yours. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. And this, I feel like, is talking about this King of Swords energy. The King of Swords is strong, and their strength is represented in their rationality, in their intelligence. And I feel like this is talking about how you're making smart decisions, you're surrendering your defensiveness, and you're communicating with your person a lot better. So that's all I'm seeing for you today, my dear group number 3s, all about your love life in 2026. It's a really beautiful energy, really beautiful reading. And I'm really thankful that you've trusted me to do this reading for you, my dear group number threes. Now, if you resonated with this reading, please don't forget to leave me a like, comment down below, or give me a subscribe so that you never miss a reading that I upload in the future. Again, thank you for being here, for listening to my reading, for sharing your energies with me. And I hope to see you again very, very soon in the next reading. Bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the Mulled Berries candle, then this is going to be your reading all about your love life in 2026. Welcome. So before we start off the reading, I would like to light your candle so that the candle and the scents energies will be permeating your entire reading. And as I light this candle, you can take a deep breath and make a wish about your love life in 2026, or just make a wish about anything in your life in 2026. Okay. Now, let's take a deep breath together. Close your eyes, make a wish now. And as I light this candle for my dear group number fours, may all of my group number fours wishes come true. Perfect. Let me put this candle right here so that you can see it. Perfect. All right, so as you can see here, I have pre-shuffled some oracle cards to do an energy check on your love life in the year of 2026. Now let's get right into it. So the overall energy of your love life in 2026 is the Chariot. Very auspicious card. Then we have two cards from the same deck which came out together. We have number 40, Morning, the world awaits you. We have number 7, another number 7, Sword, make the change. We have number 1, Renewal. Interesting, okay. Then we have number 16, Karma. And then last but not least, we have number 13, Find Your Heaven. I'm gonna put this one right here so that everything is clear and in frame. Okay, perfect. Now let's get right into it. I love the fact that you have two number 7s. Maybe number 7 is a significant number for you. Maybe the year of 2026 is a personal year number 7 for you. Now, number 7 for me always represents overcoming some sort of challenge. It represents ascension for me, and it's a very spiritual number. Also, obviously, it's corresponding to the Chariot card, which signifies victory, success, and a fast energy moving forward. Now, with the Chariot, as well as this card, Sword, make the change, I feel like you're moving forward from something. You're moving forward from something that's no longer serving your highest and best good. And this energy is kind of similar to group number 3. So I'm not sure if you're coming from group number 3 or if you feel called to also watch group number 3. Maybe this is a confirmation for those of you who also felt drawn by group number 3. However, in terms of your energy, I feel like there is an additional element of velocity, of fast changes, decisive changes. Now let's see, like, if you can see the imagery of this card, that's where this person is using a sword to cut off their long hair. Now, using this sword, this reminds me of the Ace of Swords, which is decisive decision. It is making a choice and sticking to it. And again, it's so interesting because there was the imagery of a sword in one of the cards in group number 3 as well. So again, the energy is a little bit similar. in terms of kind of making that decision to move forward. It is a really beautiful energy. And I also love that you have number 40 here, which came out together with this number 7 card that says, "Morning, the world awaits you." Now, this also talks about a new beginning. And literally, we also have number 1, which says renewal. So essentially, all of these 4 cards, I feel like they're all talking about the same thing, where you are having a new energy coming in for you in the year of 2026, specifically regarding your love life. And I feel like this is also talking about you making the change, you kind of doing new things, you making new decisions, you embarking on a new journey. And literally, we also have number 13 here, find your heaven. There is a place of wonder awaiting just for you. Number 13 corresponds to the death card in tarot, which represents a significant change. It is death and rebirth. It's renewal, it's significant, it's transformative change. And here it says there's a new place, there's a place of wonder awaiting just for you. It's like you are moving on from this cave, right? You're taking this passage and like you're moving forward into kind of this like new wondrous, beautiful place, fantastic place that's awaiting you for the longest time. And then I do feel like this is kind of a storyline talking about how you're moving forward, and what you're moving forward from is exactly the first card here, which is number 16, karma. Now, number 16 corresponds to the Tower card in tarot. It talks about rug being pulled under your feet. It talks about a change, a disastrous change, an unexpected, significant change that happens for you out of the blue. And I feel like this is you breaking away from past karma. I wouldn't be surprised if you have some sort of a karmic relationship with someone that has been going on for quite a while. And in 2026, I do see that you're cutting away that person, you're cutting away the relationship and kind of moving forward to something that serves your highest and best good. I'm also seeing that you are going to emerge in this wondrous place, in this wonderful new beginning, being victorious, being successful. And also for those of you who made a wish earlier, I feel like this also indicates a really auspicious beginning. For those of you who made the wish, I feel like most likely your wish would come true. And it's incredibly beautiful here. And then also, I think one of the key things I can see here is you being very decisive. Now, we have the number 40 here, which reduces to number 4, and that's the number of the Emperor. The Emperor is someone very decisive. The Emperor is someone who doesn't take anybody's BS, because the Emperor runs the entire country. The Emperor rules over the entire kingdom, and they don't take BS from anybody. They are decisive, they're mature, they make decisions that are smart, that serves their highest and best good, and also serves the highest and best good for other people in his kingdom. And even if you identify with more of a feminine energy, I do see kind of more masculine, forward-moving, driven energies in your reading. And it doesn't really matter if you identify as like whatever gender you identify with. I'm just seeing this yang energy, this energy that's bursting, that's pushing you forward. And it's like you are co-creating with the universe. So this energy is pushing you forward, while at the same time, you are trying to move forward as well. So it's not necessarily the universe kind of doing things for you, which I feel like that's kind of more of the case with group number 3, who had the Wheel of Fortune card. And with the Chariot card, I feel like there's more of an initiative that you're taking. You're taking this initiative to move forward. You are cutting away the BS. You're cutting away things that are no longer serving you, that do not fill your cup. And that's what I'm seeing here in terms of your overall energy in 2026 regarding your love life, my dear group number 4s. And now I'm going to shuffle a tarot deck live on camera to get one card for each and every single month of the year. You don't have to stay for the shuffling process. I'm going to put a timestamp down below so that you can skip forward. But now let's get ready to shuffle. For my dear group number 4s, who chose the mulberries candle, what will be going on for them in the year of 2026 in their love life, please, Spirit? So we have the Ace of Swords coming out for January. Making a new decision, that sword energy in the previous card. Let's see, how about February, moving forward? We have the World, yes, okay. Three of Swords in reverse for March. Six of Cups for April. Your cards are coming out fast. Okay. Let's see. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Devil in reverse, the Knight of Wands in the upright, the Hermit, Ten of Swords in the upright, Ace of Pentacles in the upright. Let's see. How about the end of the year? Oops. We have Jack Forest. So this is a death card. Oh my gosh, you're getting so many synchronicities. And then we have the Strength card. On the back of the deck, we have the Hangman. You got a lot of similar, like you got a lot of cards that also were present in group number 3's reading. So I would strongly encourage those of you who felt also drawn to group number 3's to watch group number 3's reading. All right, now let's get right into it. Okay, so Ace of Swords, a clear new beginning, clear new decision, whatever it is. I feel like if you're thinking about making a decision about your love life, that is a very auspicious sign for those of you who want a clear-cut new beginning, who's tried to cut away the BS in your life. And I feel like this new beginning is going to be very, very significant. And I also love the fact that it's coming up in January, like literally January 2026, new year, new energy, new people in your life. And it's a new version of you as well. The World card, obviously, peace on earth, talks about kind of this peaceful energy, graduating from your past energies. And it's incredibly beautiful here because there is an angel kind of holding on to the earth. And the Mother Earth is a very grounding energy. It feels like the decision that you made with your intelligence, you're grounding it into 3D reality. This can kind of signify materiality, so something materializing. So with the Ace of Swords in the beginning of the year, this talks about, this is air energy. It's still not fully grounded. However, immediately moving into February, you are grounding in the energies. You are grounding in this new decision that you've made. You've decided to cut away whatever that's no longer filling your cup. You are inviting in this new energy. You've graduated from old lessons and you're ready to embrace new lessons in your life. And then kind of like resonating or continuing on with this energy, we have the Three of Swords coming out in reverse, which is also a card that group number 3 got. I feel like I just like I've been reiterating the fact that you got a lot of cards that are the same and similar with group number threes. I'm gonna shut up now. But basically, for March, we have the Three of Swords coming out in reverse, and that definitely talks about deep healing. It could also talk about a difficult decision or a difficult conversation that you have to have with this other person in your life. I do kind of see that for some of you, this might be a painful ending. And speaking of painful ending, we have the Ten of Swords coming out in the upright that literally aligns with the Three of Swords coming out in the reverse. So I do feel like there's an indication of ending something, ending a past relationship, ending your yearning for something that no longer serves you. Because a lot of the times when we cut away an old relationship, a part of us is still holding on to the old energies, and that doesn't necessarily serve us in a good way anymore. And I feel like this month, in the month of March, this is when you have that clarity. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna say what I need to say to this person, and I am going to put an end to whatever this is that's no longer serving me. It doesn't necessarily have to be a breakup either. For some of you who are in kind of a more significant, like a more stable, significant partnership, I feel like this could also talk about a level up. So having a difficult decision where you set boundaries, where you clearly and assertively express your needs, your desires in this connection, I feel like that could also be this Three of Swords reverse energy. And again, it talks about deep healing as well. This is deep healing not only for you, but also potentially for the other person. And that lends itself really, really well to moving forward to April, where we have the Six of Cups energy. Now, this could talk about different things for different people who are in different types of connections. For some of you, this signifies you coming into union with a new person who is a significant soulmate. Because for me, Six of Cups always represents soulmate energies. It talks about this significant other soul that you are meant to have a union with during this lifetime so that you can learn things together. And all of a sudden, I'm noticing that I am speaking a lot faster in your group's reading. And I feel like this is really coming from that chariot energy. And as I was saying that, I saw the camera timer flashing 1717, and that is the number of the star card in tarot, and that signifies the one of your significant wishes coming true. And also it talks about that healing energy after a disaster, after something that's incredibly debilitating, from the Tower energy, which is number 16 in tarot. And then now that we have this union, I feel like whoever you're missing, so this could be kind of an old person coming back, or a current person leveling up, or a new person, but something that you've been missing is coming to you. With this Five of Pentacles in reverse, this talks about getting out of a lack energy. You're no longer feeling lacking. Whether that's your confidence or something in the material world that you've been wanting, you're no longer wanting that thing because that thing is right here in front of you for your grab. And that is really, really beautiful because this card came out together with the Devil card in reverse. And this talks about our desires, right? The Devil card can talk about our deepest shadow. And when it comes out in the reverse, I feel like you're setting yourselves free. My dear group number fours, you're setting yourselves free from this missing energy, from this lacking energy, from this energy that makes you feel like something is missing. And you are embracing a new reality where you feel like, okay, I have everything that I've ever wanted. I have everything that I have wished for. Or it could also talk about that energy that I talked about earlier when you held on to something that's no longer serving your highest and best good. This can talk about kind of you letting go of that thing. And you might have that moment of epiphany where you're like, I can't believe I was holding on to that person who was literally treating me with lies and BS and betrayal. And then we have the Knight of Wands coming out for July. Now, the Knight of Wands talks about passion. It is a really, really passionate energy. It is this energy that's also fast moving. It's fast moving forward. And for me, this card, sometimes I do associate with the Chariot, which was kind of the significator for your group's energies. So with the Knight of Wands, this could talk about a new person coming in and coming in fast with a lot of passion. This could also talk about this person that you've come into a union with being very passionate, being very hot, being incredibly attracted to you. I could see there's a lot of attraction. And then in terms of attraction, like even the Devil card, although it came out in the reverse, it could talk about this deep attraction that's not necessarily obsessive. It's healthy. It's healthy attraction where you feel happy. You feel that butterfly when you're thinking about the other person, when you're keeping in touch with each other, when you're messaging each other. You feel the energy surging from your sacral chakra. There is that desire. And especially for those of you who are into this kind of stuff, there is kind of a sexual energy here. And then moving on, I want to talk about the Hermit as well as the Ten of Swords together. So the Hermit kind of talks about you in a deep meditative mood. You kind of reflecting on what you want and finding that light. The Hermit is someone who has incredible wisdom, who follows the beat of their own drums. You're not letting other people's opinions sway your decisions. You're not letting other people dictate what you want to do. Whether that's your significant other or your friends or your family or anybody else, you are not letting other people dictate your behaviors. And that is incredibly important because you know exactly what's going on. You are going to emerge from the end of this tunnel into a new, wonderful, fantastic place because you have chosen to take the path. You have chosen to move forward. You have chosen to embrace this new reality and letting go of an old reality. And that's that renewal energy that we talked about a little bit earlier. Now, with the Hermit, it could also talk about kind of like a slowing down. Like compared to the Knight of Wands, the Hermit is definitely earthy, Virgo energy that's a bit more meticulous, that is slower. However, I also feel like this is kind of something needed for your relationship with this other person, with your soulmate, to level up. Because you need to think about what you want clearly, and you need to communicate that clearly with the other person. And then with the Hermit card, and moving forward, we have the Ten of Swords. This is kind of that clarity that you got. This is the snow melting, giving way to the spring. And without the Hermit energy, you would not be able to move on to this new energy. With the Ten of Swords, sometimes this could also talk about a painful ending. However, although I am seeing endings, I am seeing a transformative energy that brings renewal instead of pain. That brings a beautiful new spring day that's been awaiting you for the longest time. And only when you open up your eyes, when you stay open to this new path, would you be able to actually see it? Would you be able to actually move forward on to this new journey. And as we talk about new journey, we move into the month of October where we have the Ace of Pentacles. And literally you got 2 aces out of your entire timeline in the 2026. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles, again, this talks about material world. And earlier I talked about how with the Ace of Swords, it's air energy. It's not necessarily grounded in reality yet. And with the Ace of Pentacles, that's exactly the opposite. That talks about how you are grounding things. You're getting this new opportunity to ground your new wishes into the reality. And if at this point you have this person with you, then this can also talk about an opportunity for the 2 of you to get closer with each other, for the 2 of you to level up your connection. And that is incredibly beautiful because moving towards the end of the year, I see the theme of your year kind of being tied back up. You're tying off the loose ends. With the Death card, with the Strength card, the Death card, again, this talks about a significant ending, a new beginning. And also the fact that we have the Death card for the month of November, and the Death card does have Scorpio energy, and November is Scorpio season. I feel like this month could be very significant for some of you. Maybe somebody was born in November. Maybe it's like some sort of a significant celebratory occasion for some of you. And when I'm filming this reading, it happens to be Thanksgiving holidays. So this could also talk about kind of like something shifting, something changing during the end of the year holiday seasons. And then also what I want to mention is that with the Death card, you don't have to be afraid because you're shedding old skins. And you are happy and you're content. You're peaceful as you embrace this new beginning. I don't really see you being anxious or afraid of this new change. You've been waiting for it. Like, this is a repeated theme throughout your entire year. And now it's reaching that culmination. It's reaching the peak. And that's incredibly beautiful. And as I'm talking about this, I'm getting like the scent of your candle is getting stronger and stronger. And with mulled berries, this is also a scent that reminds me of winter holidays. And obviously, for those of you who are residing in the southern hemisphere, this would not be winter. But for those of you who are residing in the northern hemisphere, this would kind of be the winter holiday seasons, which could be significant for a lot of you. Because holiday seasons, that's when we're in a celebratory mood. That's when we're clearing out old energies and embracing new energies and setting our wishes and goals for the next year. And then last but not least, we have the Strength card being at the end of your reading for the month of December. And this card talks about deep, deep healing. This card talks about your courage, your resilience. You are ready for this new thing. You are ready to show your strength to the world, not only to your person, but also to yourself. And you're saying to yourself that I am here for this new thing. I am ready for it. I'm not afraid. I know I'm going to emerge victorious. I know that I'm going to emerge from the end of the tunnel being successful. And that's incredibly beautiful. That's incredibly empowering as well. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about reversing, changing, shifting your perception, your perspective. You're changing your vantage point because you're literally upside down and like your world is being turned upside down. And we have the World card here as well. And this turning, this change is what's helping you to get that renewal energy. This change is significant. Throughout the whole year, what we're seeing here is letting go of the old and welcoming in the new. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a new person, although it very much could be for a lot of you. Even if you're staying together with an old person, also I'm burping, which means I'm releasing old energies as well. That is something I associate with burping. Anyway, so going back to what we're saying, the Hanged Man helps you get into that deep meditative mode where you can get a sense of what exactly it is that you want, what exactly it is that you need. And a lot of times what you want versus what you need, those are two different things. And maybe you just need that shift to actually see it. So those are all the things that I'm seeing in terms of your timelines throughout the year of 2026. And now at the end of your reading, I'm going to shuffle my favorite oracle deck to get some suggestions, advice, and words of guidance from your spiritual teams and your spirit guides. Now let's see, for my dear group number 4s, what suggestions, advice, or guidance do we have? Oops. Let's see what's going on here. We have surrender, defensiveness. Oh my gosh, like this is the card that came out for group number 3 as well. We have defensiveness is a sign of weakness, to communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear non-defensive response. Like this is talking about that difficult decision, that difficult conversation that you need to have, that you must have with the person. And you need to surrender defensiveness so that you can get through to the other person, so that it's a constructive, productive conversation instead of something that's essentially not helpful. We have surrender to creativity, let your imagination soar, stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Again, like here, look at the imagery of this card. We have a mirror. You're looking in the mirror and you're seeing a new version of yourself. And that creative energy, again, it reminds me of the Chariot. It reminds me of you taking initiative. I love that for you. And last but not least, surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Okay, that's exactly what's going on with the Devil card in reverse, with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Trust in the universe that the universe wants the best for you. And trust that miracles can happen, that you will no longer be in a lacking energy. You will have exactly what you want and everything and anything that you want. And that's incredibly beautiful and very, very encouraging, very empowering. I absolutely love your reading, my dear group number 4s. And those are all the things that I see so far for you, my dear group number 4s. Thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to do this reading for you, for sharing your energies with me. If you did resonate with the reading, please don't forget to leave me a like. Or comment down below, or give me a subscribe so that you never miss a reading that I upload in the future. I wish you all the best and hope to see you again very, very soon in the next reading. Bye!